Hour 2, this is The Herd. Halloween tomorrow, wherever you may be and however you may be listening. Live in Los Angeles, iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, and FS1. It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us here on this Tuesday. Let's give it up for our crew for putting together this Halloween set. Fantastic work, people. Excellent
except
work.
for the clown.
Except for the frightening clown behind me.
I'm not into clowns.
But it is just tremendous work by our crew here at Fox Sports and FS1.
I love this giant pumpkin, though.
Yes, we got a couple of. I do love that giant pumpkin. Albert Breer before the end of the hour, and former NFLer, a guy that covers now in Cleveland, the Browns. Dustin Fox going to be joining us in 15 minutes. We are packed today. Every Tuesday after Monday Night Football, we come in on Tuesday, and we call it our herd hierarchy. I spend way more time on this than a grown-up should. But I'm into it, and here we go. Our top 10 teams I've seen in the NFL.
Herd hierarchy.
Time is now. Let's go.
The top 10 NFL teams according to Colin. Number 10.
It's hard to trust the Houston Texans. Reportedly, I'll put them at 10. They're making a deal with Denver wide receiver Demaryius Thomas as we speak. And they play him this week. 5-game winning streak. Deshaun Watson has been unbelievable, and it's remarkable because he's been beat up physically. He couldn't fly on one of the team trips. He had to take a bus. He's completed 67% of his throws during a 5-game winning streak. 10 TDs, 4 picks, 105 passer rating. J.J. Watt is having a great year again. He's healthy. 8 sacks, most tied in the National Football League. It's hard to trust this franchise. But if they're making this deal for the wide receiver, it tells you after losing Will Fuller, they're all in. They think they can make a run in the AFC. Hard to trust them. This is as much as I can trust them. I've got them at 10, the Houston Texans.
Number 9.
I got to give Pete Carroll credit. Seattle has done a remarkable job. Right now, they have the league's number 1 rushing offense and the number 1 scoring defense since week 4. Much like New England, they kind of punted in September, reworked their offense. They are running a higher percentage of run plays than any other team in the league. 53% of their plays are run plays. In a passing league, that leads the NFL. They're also top 5 in defense. Their pass rush is a little hit and miss, but Pete Carroll's strength has always been defense. They're playing great defense. They're not turning the ball over. Their turnover differential second in the NFL plus 10. That's a very Andy Reid, Kansas City feel. I thought it was a rebuilding year. It's not. Seattle's for real. Dominated Detroit as a road team. Impressive this Sunday. Seahawks 9.
Number 8.
Pittsburgh Steelers are an interesting mix of dysfunction, lack of detail, and uber talent. Their pass rush right now is frightening. Baker Mayfield had no chance Sunday. Matt Ryan a few weeks ago had no chance against their pass rush. They are 3-0 in October. They can go over the top. James Conner has filled in. He's been terrific. But then again, they lead the NFL in penalties and penalty yards and apparently haven't figured out all the rules, judging by what happened against the Browns. I have them at 8. I'd have them higher on talent, but their dysfunction, lack of details, puts them at 8.
Number 7.
Philadelphia, again, I think they're just a little tighter than Pittsburgh. The problem with Philadelphia, I can make an argument, 7 of their 8 games have been decided by 6 points or less. I could make an argument they're underrated and overrated. Here's what I know, though. They are top 5 in the league in rushing. That matters, especially up to Thanksgiving, beyond Thanksgiving. The weather in Philly now, you're going to get some rain, going to get some hail, going to get some wind. They can run the football. I also like this about Philadelphia. They get people off the field, get the ball back to Carson Wentz. Right now, third down defense is something I've always looked at. They're top 3 in the league. They're third. Meaning, they got a pass rush, they get you off the field, and they get the ball back to their star quarterback, who now has a running game, Philadelphia at 7.
Number 6.
They were beaten by Carolina, so I'll put Carolina 1 spot ahead of them. I'm not, this is a coin flip to me, but they did beat Philly, so I'll put Carolina at number 6. Carolina, first of all, has always been sneaky good at home. Once again, they're 4-0 this year at home. They've won 4 of their last 5. We've talked a lot through the years about their running game, and they are second in rushing. A lot of that's Cam Newton. I got to give Cam credit. I didn't know with Norv Turner. Cam's got his money. He's got his MVP trophy. He's got, he's got the fashion. He's got the commercials. Would he be coachable? He's been terrific. Multiple touchdowns, 6 straight weeks. That's never happened in Cam's career. Remember what for years they called him roller coaster Cam. You're going up, you're going down. You're going up, you're going. He has mostly smoothed out the bumps. I've always liked their front seven defense. Ron Rivera, I think, is a very stable, solid head coach. I got the Panthers at 6.
Number 5.
I know you're not watching them, but the Chargers are loaded. Everybody talks about Minnesota's wide receiving core. Well, Phillip Rivers is better than Kirk Cousins, and this wide receiving core is better than Minnesota. Keenan Allen, stud. Mike Williams, stud. Terrell Williams, wide receiver, who played at like Western Oregon. They have 3 long, fast, tall, deep threats. And Phillip Rivers, who's always been hyper-aggressive, is going after them. And here's the thing. The Chargers have had talent for years, but they always kind of like gave games away. They have the second fewest giveaways in the NFL. What they've done, I talked to their front office in the offseason, and they said, we love our talent. We've got to stop beating ourselves. If you look at who's beaten this team this year, Rams, Chiefs. Like, if you go the last 2 years, the only people beating the Chargers are like the New Englands, the Rams, and the Chiefs. I have got the Chargers at 5.
Number 4.
But I have the Chiefs at 4 because through the years, the Chargers can't beat the Chiefs. Andy Reid has owned the Chiefs. And this is an offensive story. Now, they do get eventually, they're going to get some defensive guys back, but Patrick Mahomes has the most passing yards and the most passing touchdowns of any player in the first 9 games of his career. And it's kind of a perfect storm. I like Mahomes. We're going gaga. He's got the perfect guy in Andy Reid, one of the great play callers in football, one of the great play designers in football. He's got the fastest guy on the outside, the Cheetah. He's got a world-class running back, Kareem Hunt. Got the best tight end, in my opinion, in football, along with Zach Ertz and Gronk and Travis Kelce. They've got a better offensive line than previous years. That's been coached up. I still don't know if I trust him in a big spot. He's still a kid quarterback, but I got the Chiefs at 4.
Number 3.
May surprise you. I have the Rams at 3. I keep seeing this with the Rams. Maybe it's lethargy. Maybe it is they don't have a consistent pass rush. And you saw it this week against Green Bay. When they needed it late, they did have it. But 4 of their last 5 games, and not exactly against great competition, have been decided by 7 or less. Now, they're the number 1 running team. Todd Gurley's the MVP, in my opinion, of the league right now. They're number 1 in point differential, 2nd in total offense. But I watched every snap of every game. Their pass rush is hit and miss. Their linebackers are okay. Now, they will get better because their secondary's beat up. But when you can put pressure like the Packers did on Jared Goff, you can clearly disrupt this offense. And I think it's close, but I have them at 3.
Number 2.
And I have New England at 2 because if I think they met, I think Brady would slice up. Without a pass rush, I think Brady would slice up their defense, like Kansas City. I think Brady would face the Rams and slice them up with a bunch of Chris Hogan, Julian Edelman, Gronk, James White stuff. I don't love their backs, and I don't like the Rams linebackers in space, and I love what New England did last night. Just methodical. Didn't even perform well in the red zone. But here's the thing. 25-plus points on their 5-game winning streak. They're the best coach team in football. They're the best quarterback team in football. They have the best system in football. And I'll tell you this. They don't have a lot of superstars. Gronk's not what he used to be. But, man, they got a lot of guys that can play. James White and Chris Hogan and Gronk and Edelman, Cordero Patterson, Josh Gordon. Got a lot of dudes. Not all stars. Maybe none are stars anymore. But they can all play and they can all catch.
Number 1.
Saints are the best team in football. Lost week 1 to Fitzmagic, and they've been great. They won at Baltimore. That's a tough win for a dome team. They won at Minnesota convincingly. That's a tough for New Orleans to go on the road. The Saints have always been that team that I love at home. Don't necessarily trust them big spots going up north, and they've blown me away. I loved how they performed against Baltimore. I thought they were dominant against Minnesota. They run the football with a dual back system. They've got a deep threat. Drew Brees is completing closer to 80% than 75% of his throws. They're one of the best coach teams in football. Mickey Loomis is stacked. Now, I don't love their secondary at all. Eli Apple, I think, helps. But again, I think they're going to end up hosting playoff games, and I would not. Be it the Rams, be it the Eagles, be it Carolina, I would not want to face this team down in that dome. No thank you, because they're winning on the road. Saints, number 1 in my herd hierarchy. I spend too much time on that. Really, it's at some point I need to get a hobby. I sit there all day.
It's very important.
It's very important to me. There it is.
I think I would swap the Patriots and the Rams right now.
If they met tomorrow, you take the Rams. Neutral field. Super Bowl.
I think I do. Yeah, I do.
I think I'd take New England in the Super Bowl. I saw it. I think I'd take Brady against those linebackers. You see James White last night? It's just, God, Buffalo. It was like, Buffalo. James White, you may want to cover him.
Yeah, but that's Buffalo.
I know, but it's on the road. Rams are, listen, this is all time. I got Saints 1, Patriots 2, Rams 3, Chiefs 4. This is inches, not feet.
Yes.
But I think New Orleans.
No one should be offended by this.
No, they're inches,
hierarchy.
not feet, but I love what I see with New Orleans. Okay, I'm going to head to Cleveland next. Former NFLer, covering right now the Browns. I'll say it again. Mike McCarthy. Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers, Mike McCarthy wearing each other out. They just fired their GM, Ted Tower. They demoted their GM in Green Bay. How long's McCarthy going to last? If I'm Baker Mayfield and I'm John Dorsey, that guy that I work with in Green Bay, Mike McCarthy, I'd make a call to his agent. That's coming up. It's The Herd.